Hi, someone sent me a message and asked me to talk about capital gains on the sale of your home and if there's anything that you can do to offset some of those gains. In case you're new here, I'm Juliana. I'm an enrolled agent living in Texas. I have a master's in taxation and a background at the IRS. I like to talk about some of my experiences at the IRS, if I can remember them from so long ago, and also certain tax topics and occasionally answer questions. So when you sell your primary home, because it's such a large asset, you may have huge gains. In general, the market goes up over long periods of time, but it does have its ups and downs, so you may sell at a loss as well. The government does realize this, and they realize it is your primary residence, so there are ways to write off some of the money, or at least not have to have it taxed. If you have lived in your residence for at least 2 of the last 5 years as your primary residence, then you can have an exception to some of the money. If you're single, you can not pay tax on $250,000 of gains. So if you have $100,000 of gain on your house, then you would not have to pay tax on it if you fit the qualifications. If you had $500,000 of gain on the house, then you would be able to not pay tax on $250,000 of that. But you would have to pay capital gains on the rest. If you are a married couple and you both have lived in the house at least 2 of the last 5 years as your primary residence, then you can write off $500,000, so $250,000 each. And I keep using the word write-off. It's not a write-off, but it is you qualify to not pay the tax. So some people, especially if they have kept this home for long periods of time, like decades, may have significant gains. So there's not a whole lot you can do to offset those unless you have capital losses. Capital losses can definitely offset that. Those are things like stock sales. So if you have a large portfolio and you have the ability to take losses and sell a whole bunch in that year, then you can offset. Or if you have a whole lot that is being carried forward, that can help offset some of those gains as well. If you have a business, those losses cannot offset because those are not capital in nature. So that's the basics of the home sales, and there's not a whole lot you can do to offset them, but the government did try to assist since you are selling an asset and earning money, but they don't want you to have to be punished by paying tax on the whole thing. So they did give you a pretty significant break, and most people do qualify for at least part of it.